Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ozark Outpost in Dixon, Missouri. This is Japan, January 1941. Tojo started with 26 yen in his bank, with which he has purchased a tactical bomber for 11 and a total of 5 infantry for 15. We have the 3 tech chips here, which they're going to use to try to move jet fighters along, try to finish improved factories, and try to advance improved construction. Jet fighters is an 8. Missed with a 1. Improved factories is a 7. Missed with another 1. Improved construction is a 7. Missed with a 4. All right, they're going to have to send the Kempite over there to the die factory and make sure that quality control standards are being observed, I guess. Okay. I've been talking about this Dutch pancake maneuver. And as I said before, I saw an instructional video from General Hand Grenade on this move. If you've seen his video, he mentions in it that he got this from one of the developers of the game, so these are legal moves. What we're going to do is we're going to combat move the Imperial fleet here off Formosa and the ground units the transports are carrying down here to the Dutch East Indies. Now I'm going to get the ships from the task force cards and the guys all divided up and spread out here where they belong off camera, and then I'll come back and go through each move that we're going to do. But as you can see from the target markers, we're going to hit pretty much everything down here. Sumatra, Java, West Timor, Borneo, Celebes, and Dutch New Guinea. Now, as you can see here, you may or may not have noticed it before, there's now a militia on Celebes where there was not. That was one of the neutral additions at the beginning of this calendar turn. Java also picked up an extra infantry and a coastal artillery that was not there before. So that may give the Japanese a fit or two. We'll just have to see. I'll get everything sorted out and be right back. All right, let's see if I can make sense of all this. We're gonna zoom in here a little bit. Make things easier to see. Okay. I got everybody divided up. 1 destroyer hauled 1 infantry. They started up here off of Formosa. So he went 1, 2, 3 to drop 1 infantry in an unopposed invasion of Dutch New Guinea. You can almost see all the way in the back here. The same thing, 3 moves for a destroyer to haul 1 infantry down here for an unopposed invasion of West Timor. And those were the 2 unopposed. So now, let's tilt down a little bit. Back up just a hair. Okay, now here at Celebes, 1 destroyer is bringing in 1 infantry to invade. This amphib group includes a light cruiser that will have a shore bombardment shot and a light carrier with a fighter on it, who will go in here to support the invasion. Next door here in Borneo, you can see there's 2 Dutch militia defending. Over here, I moved the Americans out of the Philippines right now because I just don't have enough room to get everything into some of these zones. So these guys right here are actually down here in this sea zone off Borneo. There is 1 Dutch coastal sub there defending. There is 1 Japanese coastal sub and 1 regular submarine in that zone. There won't be any screening force action there. Well, actually, yeah, there will be. The 2 submarines, no, can't do that. No screening force action there. Well, no, there's got to be. We have to force that Dutch sub to submerge. Otherwise, we can't have an amphibious invasion with an enemy sea unit in the zone there. So, this is what we're going to have to do. This is what we'll do. We're going to take, make sure you can see it here, over here in over here in the sea zone off of Sumatra, I'm taking a fighter off this fleet carrier and going to put it on combat air patrol in the sea zone off Borneo. That will let it attack the Dutch submarine, and then he'll either get killed, or if he's missed, then he either has to submerge and get out of the way, or he has to shoot back, in which case this Japanese coastal sub and regular submarine can take return shots back at him. That's how we'll do that. Okay, and then back over here in the amphib group that's going into Borneo, there are 2 heavy cruisers that are going to take bombardment shots. We've got 2 transports here hauling an SNLF Marine and 2 infantry for the invasion. And then over this way, we're going to have the same thing down here off of Java. We have a Dutch destroyer and a Dutch submarine in this sea zone. By the way, after making their move, I forgot to mention this, after making their combat moves, the Japanese have declared war on the Netherlands. Okay, now, we got the same thing going on over here with the submarine going to be in the way of the amphibs. So what we're doing here is there are 2 aircraft on a fleet carrier down here off of West Timor. The fighter is going to go on combat air patrol over here off Java. This destroyer and heavy cruiser are going in as screening force against the Dutch ships. If they can get them out of the way, then this amphib group here is going in with 2 battleships, a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser for shore bombardment, 2 transports hauling 2 SNLF Marines, and 2 infantry. And then here for the tactical bomber from this carrier will go in to support the invasion. And then here for Sumatra, we have 1 transport carrying 2 Marines. We have a heavy cruiser that'll take a shore bombardment and a tactical bomber which will support the invasion force. I hope all that makes sense. So, I'm going to roll them out and let you know what happens with each one. I guess I'll just start here in the east with Celebes. Be right back. The Japanese were successful there on Celebes. You can see they've got their roundel infantry there. The fighter went in and scored the hit on the Dutch militia, and he rolled a 5 in defense for a miss. Okay, next we will go next door to Borneo. This kind of mess right here. Be right back. The Japanese fighter and destroyer went in on that submarine there off of Borneo. The fighter missed, the destroyer got a hit. The sub fired back and missed with a 6. Now we'll do the invasion. Alright, there at Borneo, the Japanese have shed some tears. Their shore bombardment from the heavy cruisers missed. The guys hit the beach and missed. And then the 2, take that back. One of them hit to kill one of the Dutch militia. When the Dutch fired back, they scored 2 hits. Got the SNLF, and then of course the infantry had to take double casualties on the first round and kill both of them. So the invasion of Borneo has failed. Next, we will go down here and do the action there on Java. We'll get the sea battle first. Okay, the Japanese screening force went in. They killed the Dutch destroyer, missed the sub. The Dutch destroyer shot back and killed 1 Japanese submarine. The Dutch submarine decided to submerge and live to fight another day rather than sacrificing himself. So now we're going to move on to the invasion. The Japanese shore bombardment scored 1 hit and killed a Dutch militia, and then the Dutch coastal artillery got 1 hit for damage on one of the battleships. Now the invasion force is going in. Alright, there sit the Japanese on Java. It just went 1 round. The invaders got in there for 2 hits, and then the tactical bomber, which came from this carrier down here, scored the 3rd hit. The Dutch got 1 SNLF in return. Now we'll come up here and do Sumatra. Okay, they got that one too. It took 5 rounds. Everybody was shooting very poorly, but finally on the last round, the Japanese got their hit, and then the defending militias shot back and killed one of the Marines. Okay, Yeah, I will clean all of this up and get everybody where they need to be off camera. The important thing for right now is that the Japanese have picked up 7 of the 9 yen available down here in the Money Islands. Of course, they failed to take Borneo there, which they will have to think about because at the end of the combat phase here, Borneo now becomes, or actually Borneo and the Netherlands up there in Europe become a British-controlled minor. So if they want to go back in there and try and get those 2 IPP later on, that'll require a declaration of war on the Commonwealth. They'll have to think about that. Okay, anyway, that was my attempt at a Dutch pancake. I didn't quite get it done. Over here in China, I'll adjust the income from down there in just a minute. Over here in China, there isn't going to be any combat. So, we're just going to go ahead and place our units and get that done. Okay. Wait a minute. Is there going to be any non-combat? Yes, there is. This fighter here at Kushu is going to fly up here onto this card at Hopei. So let me just move him over to there. And that's going to be it. Now we'll place our units. This tactical bomber goes to Kushu. 1 infantry each to Nanking. There's a minor factory there. And 1 infantry to the minor factory up here at Rihe. And then our other 3 infantry will go here at Hokkaido. Why not? Doesn't really matter. Either one of these, it's 1 hop, or yeah, it's an easy hop on a transport to get them over there if that's where they're needed. Okay, so that's going to do it there. Now we'll come over here. As I said, Japan picked up 7 from their action down there. So that moves them up to 35. And that's how much they're going to have for next turn. This is, oh, well, let me just make sure I haven't forgotten something. Yep, I think we're good. This is Ozark Outpost. Over and out.